YouTube, what it is? Welcome to the Mac Show here on podcast numero 7. Now, in the background, you may see a little article loaded up and you might think, oh, it's distracting. He hasn't set the background. But I have set the background, okay? Because I want to show you something crazy. And the moment I put this out there and told people, the instant response that I got is, who would do something like that? And we're going to discuss this exact thing. Now, I'm actually going to edit a little bit of editing today, nothing crazy, but okay? You can see that article right there. This lady sold her farts, I can't even say it. She sold her farts in a jar. She got her farts, well, she didn't get her farts, she farted into a jar, then sold those fart jars through her Instagram and through her socials. Again, proving the number one thing, okay, that there are some sick simps out there that will buy absolutely anything. And two, the power of having a huge social and personal brand is the main thing. If you can build a personal brand and redistribute your money back into growing your personal brand, you will infinitely be wealthy. You will never have to work again unless you consider working farting in a jar. Well, this is what this lady here does. She farts in a jar. Now, I want to explore this article. Let me scroll up, okay? Let me scroll up. Basically, these are limited edition farts, she calls them. She farted in 100 jars, 100 farts for 100 jars, and she sold them at the price of $1,000 US, okay? Now, within 2 days, she'd sold 97, so I imagine from that point, she had completely, obviously, sold out all 100, which was her purpose, okay? But that is $100,000 US minus the cost of a few jars and some shipping. I imagine that is definitely not over the price of, 5,000 US there for 100 orders and 100 jars, okay? That's $95,000 US profit. Pure profit. For the world's easiest business. I would say that is the world's easiest business. Now, this relates back to the OnlyFans module in a few ways, okay? It relates back because when I tell people and they ask, what do you do? And I say, well, I used to run e-commerce businesses, quite successful ones, and this still is an e-commerce business, but I've switched to pimping women online. I either get the response from women that is, oh my God, can you really make that much money doing that? I would do that. And usually girls at first are like, who would do that? And then I say, well, would you do it for $1,000 a day? And then they say, fuck yeah, I'd do that for $1,000 a day. Okay, and the reason is pretty simple. Money always talks. My question would be this. If you want to bring out the argument of, is OnlyFans sort of business degrading? Is this degrading? Would you exchange 2 days of degrading work for $100,000 in the place of an entire year of being degraded, okay, for $40,000. So really, let's make them equal on terms of work, okay? Either you fart in a jar 100 times over the space of 2 days and sell that, and then you don't have to work for 2.5 years, or you can work a retail job that you despise. And remember, if you enjoy it, this has nothing to do with it. It's a job that is degrading to you, okay? Or work 2.5 years in a job that degrades you and you do not like, okay, for that same $100,000. And if you can see why I went with 2.5 years, because that's what it equals to make the exact same amount of money. Would you trade 2 days or 2.5 years? So really, it's a question of morals. And when you think down to these things, and a lot of people don't really take the time to think down to it, where do these morals even come from? Is it morals, or are you using that as a facade, a lie, because you don't want to come across as a failure? Or you're scared of what other people might say? Obviously, she's going to have some awkward conversations with her family, but if she's comfortable in her own self and in her own reasoning and her own body, which I imagine she is if she's pushed this out on all her social media, okay, is it really the fact, and this is where insecurity comes from, are you just saying, oh, it's degrading, and using that as a reason to mask your own insecurity, that you wouldn't do it because you can't handle those conversations with friends, family. Ultimately, you care too much about what people think about you. And that is what you really need to think about. This has been a 10-minute ramble, okay? but it's really had a deeper meaning behind all of it. And it's, do you care too much about what people think about you? And is pretty much every decision in your life stemming from insecurity? I have something important to announce, okay? And again, my businesses are all thriving. There is no need for me to sell you anything, but the majority of you who watch this shit, okay, are watching based on OnlyFans. You want to either become an online pimp, you want to grow your own OnlyFans account, you're intrigued in some measure by that. I have released a mini course that I have been working on, and I've put quite a lot of hours into it. I think after, the modules have been edited down, there is an hour and a half of content there, step by step, including legals, it includes a legal document, for example, on giving it to ladies to work for you that cost me plus $1,000 for this single contract, okay? Now, when I talk about pricing content, okay, in every video I talk about this, pricing content, I always charge $100 a picture. So if you are to make just a single sale for the price of this course, you have made back your entire money. Now, I don't need to pitch this course. I do release it tonight, and this video will come out after because it takes a while to upload to YouTube. So for the first time ever, I will actually have a link down below where you can go and buy that on Teachable. I also have some more things that I want to share with you today in today's podcast, and these are quite exciting. Okay, I had to stop for a little voice break because talking nonstop can kill the voice. Now, what I want to talk about, and this is super, super important if you want to be successful in running your OnlyFans account. It's where I see 90% of women going wrong, and I hammer this point in. In fact, I hammer it in the course. It's a whole section on value, okay? And value and pricing. And I have watched so many OnlyFans videos on YouTube of women who have started their OnlyFans account and they reveal what they make, da-da-da-da-da. A lot of them have large social followings and they make trash money. You may be surprised. I said they made trash money. And why? It really comes down to looking at pricing. Understanding pricing is pretty much understanding how to be successful. If, which most of these women do, you enter this business on a competitive plane, you will always compete and you will always lose. If you enter on a creative plane, you will always create and you will always win, because when you create, you have no competition. This is such an important concept for all businesses to understand. And this is by far the easiest business to apply this model because every individual is unique. There are billions of pornographic videos out there that people can watch for free. But yet this industry is still a multi-billion-dollar thriving industry of people pumping money into it. Why? Because when you understand what value is and you understand how to bring it on a creative plane, it doesn't matter because you are not competing. And that's what these successful women who succeed in this business model understand, okay? Now, what do I mean? Before we look at the competitive plane and the creative plane, let's understand value. What is value inside of this model? There are two things, and only two things, that these men or these women or these amalgamations, okay? There is no judgment here. You can be whatever you want to be, okay? There are only two things that people are searching for when they purchase content and they engage with someone on OnlyFans, a creator. They are searching for a biological release, a climax, number one, okay? An orgasm, we'll call it. And number two, they are searching for connection. People love connection, and there is nothing wrong with connection. Now, remember, you may not think of these people who buy your content as anything serious. You may refer to them as simps, as I do a lot. However, your job as a creator and a business owner is to provide value. If you do not provide value, okay, you will never last in business. This is super simple to understand, okay? When you provide value, you become a person of value. People of value are rewarded. Now, let me repeat that, okay? When you provide value, you become a person of value, and people of value are rewarded. This is so important to understand. This is where 99% of people go wrong in business. They just think and they focus on the money side of things, and they don't focus on what value they can bring to their customers. And it usually comes from the insecurity of, hold up, I don't know how to provide value to my customers, and I'm not willing to sacrifice the time, energy, and attention to figure that out. I just want money. There is nothing wrong with wanting money, but it would be easier for you to succeed just working a 9-to-5 job, okay, and doing a few extra little things, saving your money, than going into business with the intention of only getting money and not bringing value. You should identify how to bring value, and this is where I went wrong in my early years in business, okay? I made this mistake myself, and it cost me in the long run. I would be a lot further along right now if I understood this and I really applied it, okay? When you can provide value, you become a person of value, and valuable people are rewarded. This is super understandable, super easy to understand. And we already talked about what is value in this business. There are only two things: a connection and a climax. If you can bring people the best climax they've had and the deepest connection they've had, that is the most value possible. Now, how can you do that? How can you provide a better climax? Now, that's a very scientific thing to look at. And if you're going to engage in this business, you should understand it from a biochemical level as well. Now, the majority of people that are searching for a larger climax, okay, that is quite easy to achieve. Actually, it is quite easy to achieve. When you look at delaying an orgasm, it's exactly the same as delaying gratification of anything in real life, okay? And there are a lot of experiments on this. Bandura's psychological experiments of delayed gratification, okay? If you can get that person to delay, excite them, arouse them, delay, excite them, arouse them, delay, excite them, arouse them, and then climax, the climax will be so much better, okay? And I talk about this heavily in the course. Now, I'm not trying to pitch you the fucking course, okay? I'm just referring back to it because you can go so in depth with this. There is a way in which you do this, and it's called an anchor. And I'm not going to explain to you what an anchor is right now, but basically you can set an anchor which sets the parameters of the conversation, allowing you to be in control, allowing you to decide when the outcome takes place, in this case being the climax, and then you can build up to the climax, allow the climax, and milk money along the way. Because again, you're a business, you're bringing a lot of value, and you should be rewarded for the value you bring. Now, connection is showing a real intrigued understanding, and this is why I do the OnlyFans management side of things and why it's so successful, okay? Is because the attention to detail that we take place within this company is insane, okay? We focus on making sure that every dude that we speak to, we find out as many personal details as possible. We reference those points, we write them down, and then we bring them up in conversation to make sure that these men feel ultra comfortable. They feel a sense of connection, they feel respected, and they feel as if their best interest is at heart, okay? And that comes from attention to detail and genuinely caring about their outcome. When you care that little interruption in the filming process, okay? About to continue on what I was talking about, but my iPhone storage was full for the first time ever, and it was because, and if you didn't know this, I've just learned something, the recently deleted photos tab still holds all the storage until you go ahead and delete that. I had like 250 gig of recently deleted content that was just sitting in there that hadn't been wiped. And it's obviously because I shoot videos like this in 4K, long length, 30, 40 minute rants, okay? Now, we were talking about customer value. We're talking about paying attention to detail and making sure that the customer feels valued. When they feel valued, not only are you going to be able to milk more money from these men, women, other things, but they are going to come back again and again. And you should feel comfortable that you have genuinely provided value to this world. Whether people agree with this business model or not, if you are making someone's day, these people might work a job they hate, they might have excess cash sitting around, they may struggle to build genuine relationships with people, they may have social anxiety, okay? And you are their release. You are their ability to find a deep connection, and whether that's healthy or not long-term is not for us to debate, okay? Because every action can be good and bad, but if your perception of the matter is that during that time you are there and you are giving value, okay, you can sleep well at night and sleep on a pillow full of money while you're there as well. So, customer satisfaction is key, and I just want to reiterate, this exact same line, okay? When you bring value, you become a person of value, and valuable people are rewarded for their efforts, okay? You will always be rewarded based on the value you can bring to the economy. You are never going to have anyone that doesn't want more connection. Our constant force of life is to have deeper connection, deeper understanding with people, with ourselves. You're in a business that's never going to disappear. More humans are born every single second. No one is competing against you because every connection is different and every connection is unique. And as long as you understand how to bring a deep connection, okay, to a percentage of people, you are A-grade premium. You are premium meat on the market, okay? Someone's probably going to dub that well into the future when I got 100K subs and fucking make me sound like I am Hitler. However, that is it for today. I really hope you enjoyed. I hope it brought you some form of connection. I want to leave you on this note. It's not your job to bring connection to everyone. It's your job to identify a portion of the market, bring high level of value to those people, be rewarded for it, build strong connections within your own life, build strong connections with yourself, and get out there, expand, and enjoy this life. This one was a little bit more deep than just OnlyFans. It started off with farting in a jar, and now we're here at Gandhi level consciousness. So, I hope you've learned something. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I've entertained you. Course drops tonight. There will be the link there. Or if you're watching this 20 years from now, the course will still be down there. Okay? Course ain't going anywhere. It'll be down there. I have a free Facebook group for you to join as well. It's in the link. And if you want to go ahead and create an OnlyFans, be reciprocitous. Okay? That is probably not even the way you say it. But show a little bit of reciprocity maybe. Go ahead and use my referral link, or just say, fuck you, I'm going to do it myself and not let OnlyFans pay you your 5% because I deep down hate you. That's fine too. Okay, but if you don't, I would appreciate you using that referral link. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like, and I will see you all tomorrow for the next video. Paka.